Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be,
I'm excited for this one.
yes, it's going to be a good one. We're going to be diving into all the mysteries and secrets of
Hey,
Antarctica.
that's a good one.
So you guys sent us a ton of really fascinating articles and videos, even some
Yeah.
travel guides.
Mhm.
Looks like we're going way beyond penguins and icebergs today.
We are. It's amazing the just the sheer range of stuff we've got here. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about hidden Nazi bases to alien encounters,
Oh yeah.
mysterious lifeboats. I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be a wild ride.
Okay, let's unpack all this, starting with that classic conspiracy theory about Nazis building a secret base
Yeah.
in Antarctica during World War II. You know, the one with all the supposed clues, like that 1939 German expedition,
Right.
U-boats in Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
and
That quote.
that quote about a hidden paradise.
Oh, yeah. It's a very compelling narrative, and it's stuck around for a long time. But when you actually look at the evidence,
Mm-hmm.
like in this 2007 Polar Record article, the theory kind of falls apart pretty quickly. That 1939 expedition,
Right.
it was really focused on whaling, not military operations.
Interesting.
And the U-boats, well, they surrendered in Argentina.
Okay.
There's no evidence that they ever even went near Antarctica.
So no secret Nazi fortress. What about Operation Tabarin and Operation High Jump?
Yeah.
Those were supposed to be about finding hidden Nazis, weren't they?
Those were definitely real operations,
Right.
but they were focused on establishing research stations and mapping the continent.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Nazis.
And what about that persistent rumor of Admiral Byrd encountering flying saucers in Antarctica?
Yeah.
I feel like that pops up a lot with these Nazi UFO theories.
It does, and it turns out that's a classic case of mistranslation.
Really?
What Byrd actually said was that enemy planes could fly over the poles. He wasn't talking about alien technology
Oh.
or secret Nazi weapons.
Oh.
It's easy to see how that got twisted over time, though.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so let's put that Nazi base theory to rest. But, I mean, Antarctica just seems to inspire all sorts of wild ideas.
It does.
Maybe because it's so remote.
Right.
What about UFO sightings? Hit the alien cities,
Mm-hmm.
even pyramids under the ice.
A lot of these come from, honestly, misinterpretations of natural features.
Okay.
Ice cracks can look very strange from the air. And
Yeah.
you've got those rocky peaks called nunataks that can be mistaken for structures,
Okay.
and mountains. Well, with a little imagination, they can start to look like pyramids.
You know, actually, one of the sources you sent debunks that whole Antarctica pyramid theory. In a separate article,
Does it?
it does.
I'd love to see that.
It seems like a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
Absolutely. It shows that while these mysteries are fun to think about,
Yeah.
we need to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism and look for evidence-based explanations.
Makes sense. Now let's move from potential alien encounters to a real-life mystery that sounds straight out of an adventure novel. The Bouvet Island lifeboat. This tiny volcanic island in the South Atlantic is considered the most remote island
Wow.
on Earth.
That's amazing.
And it's incredibly inhospitable, too,
Okay.
covered almost entirely in glaciers,
Right.
which makes the discovery of an abandoned lifeboat there even more baffling.
Totally. So it's 1964, and a British survey team finds this lifeboat
Okay.
in a lagoon on Bouvet Island. It's just sitting there, partly submerged.
Wow.
No markings, no motor, no sails.
Oh, wow.
And get this, no human remains anywhere nearby.
That's spooky. Like a ghost ship, but in a lifeboat.
It was a real head-scratcher for decades.
Yeah.
But thanks to some online sleuthing,
Oh, wow.
in the 2010s, we now have a likely explanation.
No.
Turns out a Soviet whaling crew got stranded there back in 1958 because of terrible weather.
Oh, wow.
They were eventually rescued by helicopter, but they left the lifeboat behind.
So not a ghost ship after all,
Right.
but still a pretty incredible story of survival.
Absolutely. It really shows the power of nature
Yeah.
and human resilience, even when faced with extraordinary challenges.
Okay, let's shift gears now and talk about a mystery that's a bit more grounded in science.
Okay.
The Wilkes Land gravity anomaly.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So a gravity anomaly is a discrepancy between the predicted gravitational force at a location
Okay.
and what scientists actually measure.
Right.
And in Wilkes Land, this anomaly suggests a massive impact crater
Whoa.
hidden beneath the ice sheet,
Hold on, a giant crater in Antarctica. How big are we talking?
potentially twice the size of the Chicxulub crater,
Wow.
the one linked to the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Wait, are you saying there's this massive crater in Antarctica that we've only just started to figure out?
Exactly. Scientists estimate this impact occurred around 250 million years ago,
Okay.
coinciding with the end Permian extinction event.
Oh, wow.
the most severe extinction event in Earth's history.
So that means this impact might have had, like, catastrophic
Yes,
consequences
such a question.
for life on Earth.
Absolutely, wiping out a huge percentage of species.
There's even a theory that this impact could have been involved in the separation of Antarctica
Yes,
from Australia.
that's the idea. The force of the impact could have contributed to the breakup of the supercontinent Gondwana,
Yeah.
eventually leading to the continents that we know today.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get too lost in deep time, let's talk about a mystery that revolves around a very unique creature.
Okay.
The Falkland Islands. Wolf.
Huh? Yeah.
Now, these islands are hundreds of miles off the coast of South America,
Right.
incredibly isolated,
Very.
and yet they were home to the wara, an extinct canidae.
Yeah.
That was the only native land mammal on the Falklands.
Mm-hmm.
How it got there has puzzled scientists for a long time.
Yeah, it really has.
So what are the main theories about how this wolf ended up on these remote islands?
Well, there are two primary contenders. One is natural migration
Okay.
via an ice bridge during the last glacial maximum,
Okay.
around 16,000 years ago when sea levels were much lower. Imagine them just walking over.
That's amazing. What's the other theory?
It involves human intervention. The idea is that the waras were brought to the Falklands by humans,
Okay.
either intentionally or accidentally.
But I thought we read that the Falklands were uninhabited before Europeans arrived.
That was the long-held belief.
Right.
However, recent evidence suggests there may have been pre-European settlements on the islands,
Oh, wow.
which opens up that possibility
Yeah.
of human-mediated introduction.
So we're left with this really intriguing question.
Yeah.
Did the Falkland Islands wolf make an epic journey across the ice? Or were they passengers on an ancient human voyage?
It's a question that continues to spark debate.
Yeah.
And reminds us of how much we still have to learn about the movement of species
Yeah.
and the complex history of life on Earth.
Now, from extinct wolves, let's turn to a human mystery that's both intriguing and unsettling.
Okay.
The disappearance of Carl Robert Dish in 1965.
Yeah. This case is a reminder of the challenges of life in Antarctica,
Right.
especially during those long, dark winters. Dish was a physicist working at Byrd Station in West Antarctica.
What exactly happened to him?
Well, on May 8th, 1965, he left the station to walk back to the main complex,
Okay.
a route he had taken many times before. But this time, he never arrived.
Did the search parties find any clues?
They found footprints in the snow, but no signs of distress
Oh, wow.
or a struggle, and then the weather turned bad,
Oh, no.
which hampered their search efforts. And to this day, Dish has vanished without a trace.
That's unsettling, especially given how unforgiving that environment can be.
It really highlights the importance of preparedness
Yeah.
and respect for the power of nature,
Really?
even for experienced researchers.
Okay, so far we've tackled Nazis, aliens, a mysterious lifeboat,
It's a lot.
a giant impact crater,
Mm-hmm.
an extinct wolf, and a vanishing physicist. You ready for more?
Bring it on.
All right, let's jump back into those icy mysteries.
Sounds good.
You know, one of the sources you sent mentioned something called the Antarctica Mystery Hole.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. Back in the 1970s,
Okay.
satellite images revealed this massive hole
Uh-huh.
in the winter sea ice of the Weddell Sea.
Okay.
And it was huge, like comparable in size to New Zealand.
Wow.
And even stranger, it reappeared several times over the decades, most recently in 2019.
A giant hole just appears in the ice. That's a bit unnerving. Did scientists figure out what was causing it?
Well, these holes, they're technically called polynyas.
Selenius.
Yeah, they're areas of open water surrounded by sea ice,
Okay.
and they can form in coastal areas due to winds and currents.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was in the middle of the sea,
Right.
which is really puzzling.
So how did they explain a giant hole in the middle of the frozen sea?
Research suggests that powerful storms and unusual ocean circulation patterns are playing a key role.
Okay.
These storms churn up the water and bring warmer water from the depths up to the surface,
Oh, I see.
which prevents ice from forming.
So it's a natural phenomenon, but still pretty dramatic.
Right.
Especially when you think about the scale of...
Absolutely. And it could have implications for climate change, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these polynyas might release significant amounts of carbon dioxide from the ocean into the atmosphere,
Yeah.
potentially accelerating warming.
Okay. From a mysterious hole to an ancient map. One of our sources mentioned the Peary Race map and how it supposedly shows an ice-free Antarctica.
Oh, yeah.
Does that lend any credence to the idea of a lost civilization down there?
Well, the Piri Reis map is definitely a fascinating historical artifact.
Yeah.
It's a Turkish map from 1513
Wow.
that does depict a landmass that some have interpreted as Antarctica.
Okay.
But map experts point out that the shape of the landmass is likely due to limitations in the mapmaker's knowledge, and the fact that he was working with multiple and potentially inaccurate sources.
So probably not evidence of ancient Antarctic civilizations or advanced mapping techniques then.
Probably not. It's another example of how exciting theories sometimes get ahead of the available evidence.
Okay, speaking of outpacing evidence, what about that Lake Vostok monster?
Oh, yes.
Organism 46b,
Organism 46b.
a giant, shape-shifting octopus lurking beneath the ice. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It really does, and that's precisely what it is.
Really?
The story of Organism 46b originated in a tabloid,
Oh.
known for sensationalized, often fabricated stories.
So no need to worry about a monstrous cephalopod escaping from the depths.
I think we're safe on that one.
Well, that's a relief. But the source did mention that scientists found microbial life in Lake Vostok, right?
Yes.
That's still pretty amazing.
It is, and it's incredibly exciting. It shows that life can exist in some of the most extreme environments on Earth,
Yeah.
which has big implications for the search for life beyond our planet.
Okay, so maybe no giant octopus,
Yeah.
but the possibility of long dormant viruses trapped in the ice is a bit concerning.
Yeah.
Is that a real threat?
It's a serious issue that scientists are studying closely.
What?
As climate change melts the ice, it could potentially release ancient viruses that humans have never been exposed to.
That does sound like the plot of a pandemic movie.
Yeah,
But hopefully scientists can stay ahead of any potential threats.
they're working on it. It's a good reminder that as we explore and learn more about Antarctica, we also need to be mindful of the potential risks.
Right. Okay, last but not least, we have to address the rumors of secret military bases in Antarctica.
Oh boy.
Some people even believe there are remnants of a Nazi operation hidden under the ice.
This one has been circulating for decades,
Yeah.
fueled by speculation and a few grainy photos that are often misinterpreted.
Right.
But there's no credible evidence to support the existence of such bases.
But what about that YouTube video you included, the one that talks about the U.S. Navy encountering soldiers and flying saucers?
That video relies heavily on conspiracy theories
Okay.
and anecdotal accounts. It's important to remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and in this case, that evidence is lacking.
So no underground Nazi bases or battles with flying saucers then?
Not likely. Antarctica is actually governed by the Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits military activity
Right.
and promotes scientific cooperation.
Okay, that makes sense. So it seems like a lot of the mysteries we discussed so far are either misinterpretations,
Yeah.
debunked theories, or straight-up fabrications.
It's true that many of these sensational claims don't hold up under scrutiny,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean Antarctica is devoid of genuine mysteries.
Right.
The disappearance of Carl Robert Disch, for example, remains unsolved.
And the prospect of uncovering new life forms in subglacial lakes like Lake Vostok is incredibly exciting.
Absolutely. Despite decades of research, we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what Antarctica has to offer.
Yeah.
And as climate change continues to reshape the continent, who knows what new secrets will be revealed?
That's a great point. Perhaps some of the greatest mysteries of Antarctica are yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground from Nazis and aliens to mysterious creatures and vanishing scientists.
We have.
But before we wrap up, there's one more theory we need to address. The idea that Antarctica itself is the lost city of Atlantis. Well, I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but you'd be surprised how many articles and videos are out there promoting this idea. They claim there's evidence of a technologically advanced civilization hidden beneath the ice.
It's definitely a captivating idea. The image of a lost city frozen in time. It's really alluring. But when we go back to the source of the Atlantis myth, Plato's writings,
Right.
most scholars agree it was likely an allegory, not a historical account.
So probably safe to say we won't be finding any Atlantean ruins beneath the ice sheet.
Probably not. What we will continue to find, however, are astonishing natural wonders and incredible opportunities for scientific discovery. That's what makes Antarctica truly special.
You know, it's interesting. As we've been talking about all these mysteries, I've been struck by how Antarctica just seems to have this unique hold on our imaginations.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's a place that defies easy definition.
Mm-hmm.
It's remote, unforgiving in many ways.
Right.
And yet it possesses this stark, captivating beauty. And the fact that so much of it remains unexplored It's like a blank canvas onto which we project our curiosity and wonder.
It's also been a good reminder, though, that we need to balance that sense of wonder with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely. It's easy to get swept up in those sensational claims,
Right.
especially with something as mysterious as Antarctica. But it's important to think critically,
Yeah.
evaluate the evidence, and be willing to separate fact from fiction.
So for our listeners out there who've been on this deep dive with us, what's the key takeaway from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. While some of the theories we've explored might be more fantasy than reality,
Right.
Antarctica itself remains a place of profound mystery and immense scientific importance.
Yeah.
And as climate change continues to reshape the continent, it'll undoubtedly reveal even more discoveries and challenges in the years to come.
And as we face those challenges, we need to do so with respect for the continent's unique and delicate ecosystem.
Absolutely. Antarctica plays a crucial role in our planet's overall health. And as we continue to explore and learn, we need to prioritize responsible stewardship of this incredible environment.
Well said. So to you, dear listener, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never lose that sense of wonder. Antarctica may not be home to lost civilizations or secret Nazi bases, but it is a powerful reminder of the vastness, the mystery, and the beauty of our planet.
And who knows, maybe as you continue to delve into these topics, you'll uncover something new,
Yeah.
a fresh perspective, or a missing piece of the puzzle that adds to our understanding of this incredible continent.
Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.